We have our session speaker, Dr. N. Rajshekhar sir with us. Sir has finished his PhD from Acharya Nagarjuna University in 2015 and MTech from Bharat University. Sir is working as a professor in the Department of Information Technology in Gokaraju Rangaraju Institute of Information and Technology, Hyderabad. He has 16 years of teaching experience. He is actively involved in research, and some of his research interests include network security, data mining, image processing, and artificial intelligence. Sir has published 30 plus research papers in international conferences and journals. He has received the Best Paper Award in IEEE International Conference in 2016. He is also a member of various professional institutes such as IEEE, ISTE, and IAENG. He is also serving as a research reviewer and editorial board member for various reputed journals, SCI and Scopus Index. He is also a member for various international conferences. I request sir to deliver a session that is unsupervised learning, the methods, clustering, Q-learning, policy and policy-based learning. I request sir to take over the session. I request all the participants to have the session. Please take this platform for information, because yesterday we had a supervised learning. Today the sir will be delivering a session on unsupervised learning. So please take over the session.
Madam, thank you. Thank you for your nice introduction, madam. Thank you of me. Okay. So today I will continue, madam.
Yes, sir.
Madam, is this visible, ma'am? Ma'am, is this visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible, sir.
Okay, okay. Today my topic is unsupervised learning, Q-learning. So what is unsupervised learning? So how, in what way we are going to, classify this unsupervised learning and all I am going to explain. And example of Q-learning problem also we will see. So this is the eagle view representation of my session, total session. See here, this is the entire, this PPT shows the entire classification of machine learning. So machine learning can be categorized into supervised, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning, 3 categories. In this, Q-learning will come into the picture here. In this, Q-learning will come into the picture here. This is Q-learning. It is a part of reinforcement learning. All this clustering comes under unsupervised learning. K means, K modes, all these things you studied already, I think. So just introduction I am going to give about unsupervised learning, and I will switch over to this Q learning. First of all, what is this machine learning? First of all, what is this machine learning? So ML is a type of artificial intelligence. ML is a type of artificial intelligence that allows software applications to become more accurate, to predict outcomes without being or explicitly programmed to do so. So that is nothing but ML. ML algorithms use historical data as input. These ML algorithms, machine learning algorithms, all machine learning algorithms, takes historical data as an input to predict new outcome values. Why? What is the necessity? For us. So what is the importance? What is the necessity of this machine learning? So why machine learning is important? Why machine learning is important nowadays? Machine learning is important because it gives enterprises a view of trends in customer behavior and business operational patterns, as well as supports okay the development of new products. So to improve their business and all. So it is one of the decision making systems also to improve their business. Many of the nowadays many of the top leading companies like all these Facebook, Twitter, Uber, etc., make machine learning as a central part of their operations. ML has become a significant competitive differentiator for many companies. That is about the introduction part of this ML. That is about the introduction part of the ML. Next, what is this unsupervised, supervised, unsupervised learning and reinforcement learning? What is this unsupervised and supervised and reinforcement learning? So what is this supervised learning? Supervised learning means in this type of machine learning, it is one of the type of machine learning. In this type of machine learning, data scientists supply algorithms with labeled training data and define the variables they want the algorithm to assess for corrections. Both the input and the output of the algorithm is specified in the supervised learning. Simple. If you take any data set, if the data set is having labeled, then it comes under supervised learning. Labeled, it is easy for us, to classify the data or to predict the data. Especially it is used for classification and prediction. Supervised learning, classification and prediction. Unsupervised learning means here, coming to this unsupervised learning, there is no class label here. So we are all faculty members. If we entered into a, for example, if we entered into a classroom, we are handling, so a subject to the, new class. So we are having experience, but we don't have any idea about the students. If I enter into that class, suppose if it is a final year class, so it is impossible, to predict about the students. In what way we are going to, predict the intelligence of the students? In what way we are going to classify that? So the student. So there is no label here. There is no class label. So in what way? Simple. If I entered into a classroom of strength 60 students, simply I am going to ask like this. Till third year 3-2. So how many of you are having more than 70%? More than 70%. So raise your hands. Simply I'm going to ask that question. So then the few students will raise their hands. So I'm going to instruct them. You people can form one cluster. The cluster name is first class with distinction. And again, I'm going to ask like this. So initially, so the 60 students, they don't have label. Now I am going to give the label. In what way? So these are the way to give the label for those data sets. So these are the just an example I am going to give here. There are many things. So many clustering techniques are there here. So then next, how many of you are having in between 60 to 70%? Raise your hands. They will form one cluster. That is first class cluster. Next, in between 50 to 60, second class cluster. Below 50, they are third class or they are failed class clusters. 4 clusters here I found. So mainly I'm going to focus on second class and failed class clusters. So like this we are going to do. So this is one of the example for unsupervised learning. This is one of the example for unsupervised learning. Next, coming to this reinforcement learning. What is this reinforcement learning? Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Sir, it's audible, sir.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. It's audible, sir.
Okay. So here in this reinforcement learning, it is trial and error based. It is trial and error based. So that is nothing but reinforcement learning. So to achieve the output, to get the output, that is nothing but reinforcement learning. So here in supervised learning, there are few classification algorithms like decision tree. This is overview of entire machine learning. This PPT shows overview of entire machine learning algorithms. Entire machine learning algorithms. So clustering means grouping the objects based on the similar properties. Clustering means grouping the objects based on the similar properties is nothing but clustering. Is nothing but clustering. So coming to this reinforcement learning. So reinforcement learning is the method. Agent learns to interact with environment to achieve a reward. So reinforcement method is which is a subset of unsupervised learning. It is also one of the method in the unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning, which is a subset of unsupervised learning, performs learning very differently. It takes up a method cause and effect. So trial and error. We are going to go choose one way. If it is wrong, then you can go another way. Or paths you are going to find out, and you have to achieve the target. That is nothing but this reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning. So these are the entire overview of machine learning techniques. Next. So I am going to show the so my PPTs talk about what is machine learning and all. Then I will switch over to this Q learning. See. So this is artificial intelligence is the broad. So this machine learning is the subset of artificial intelligence. And again, deep learning is the subset of ML. Both this machine learning and deep learning. So here we are connecting with a function. So a technique so AI means what? Thinking like human being and behaving like human being. A machine should think like a human being and behaving like a human being. That is nothing but artificial intelligence. So ML is a part of artificial intelligence. It's a subset of AI technique which use statistical methods to enable machines to improve with experience. Next, again, deep learning. It is a part of machine learning, subset of machine learning, which makes the computation of multi-layer neural network feasible. Next. So see here. Statistical terminology for model building and validation. Here some statistical terminologies are there: mean, variance, standard deviation, frequency, percentage, to summarize the data. So here whatever the sample you are going to take, so this is the entire population. So figure shows entire population. In this entire population, so if you take one sample means for data set for data collection, so this sample should represent all the population properties. If you take the sample of the population, that is very important here. So inferential statistics is nothing but if you take any sample data from a huge data, that the sample data should contains all the properties of that huge data. So here inferences are made by hypothesis testing, estimating numerical characteristics, correlations of relations within data. Next, statistical terminology for model building and validation. So data apply statistics for hidden relationships. So statistical model is applying statistics on data to find underlying hidden relationships by analyzing the significance of the variables. So this is machine learning. See here, machine learning is a branch of study that utilizes past experience to learn from and uses its knowledge to make future decisions. It is hacking skills. It is the combination of all this computer science, hacking skills, and maths and statistics to make future decisions. So the goal of this machine learning is to generalize a detectable pattern or create unknown rule from given examples. That is machine learning. It's a type of artificial intelligence that allows software applications to become more accurate at predicting outcomes. It's nothing but machine learning. So see here, this is the traditional approach. So this is our algorithm, traditional approach, or traditional method, our algorithm. So we are giving instructions provided to computer to execute. Just instructions. You give input and you should get the output. This is the traditional approach. Whereas coming to the ML approach, here see instructions given to the computer, same. So same instructions given to the computer, and we will get the ML algorithm here, machine learning. See here, data is fed as input to ML algorithm. Here data, see here data means directly we are not giving data to machine learning algorithm. You need to pre-process the data. So you need to convert the total data into a systematic format. You can transfer the data into a systematic format, transformation. So all the data structure should be same here. So all the data, maybe size is less. So this one is big. This one is very small circle. So this one is middle circles. These are all middle circles. So these are small circles. This one is big circles. The structure is same here. So data is fed as input to ML algorithm. Next, see here. So data model. So here data we are going to give the machine learning algorithm. So this data we are going to give to the machine learning algorithm. We are going to develop the model here. So after developing the model, new data we are going to give this model and we are going to predict. Suppose here see a group of 100 employees are there, for example. So in this, here their experience, salary, and qualification. Based on that, they are going to fix the salaries. So like this, salaries, qualification here, experience here, experience. So if a new person joined as an employee in our organization, so based on the experience, based on the years of service, experience, next qualification, so they are going to fix the salary. They are going to predict the salary by using the model, already existing model. So that existing data, with this existing data, new machine learning algorithm model, so model has developed, and new data we are going to give, and we will predict the accurate values. by using these machine learning algorithms. So this is what is model. So model learning means functional mapping of input to output is nothing but model. Functional mapping of input to output is nothing but model. So that is learning model. Functional map. So we are going to map a function from input to output here. So this is the statistical model and machine learning model difference. I'm not explain too much of this, just go through it. My slides speak all the things. So this is a school of mathematics. So here steps of ML deployment. This is very important. Steps of ML deployment. So 1 second, please. One second, please. So here steps in ML deployment. So what are the steps in ML deployment? Collection of data. First thing is collection of data. So collect the data preparation and missing outlier treatment. So in the data, missed values are there, outliers are there. So you have to eliminate all these things in the pre-processing techniques. And data analysis and future engineering. This is very important. You need to spend 70 to 80% of the time, especially in data analysis and future engineering, to find any hidden patterns and relations between the data. This is very, very important. Okay. So data analysis and future engineering means, you can analyze the data and pre-process the data. So any missing values are there, just ignore that particular tuple or fill the missing values. Any outliers are there, so eliminate that outliers. So as a researcher, you need to spend 70 to 80% of the time, so especially on future engineering. So here training algorithm on training and validation data. So train, test, validate. So post-feature engineering data can be divided into 3 chunks. So that are train, test, and validate. ML is applied on training data. Hyperparameters are tuned on validation data to avoid overfitting. So later I will explain about this overfitting. So test the algorithm on the test data. So for first train, so once you design the model, train the model by giving input data. So that is training. Test that model, test that algorithm as a test data. Once the model has shown good performance on the training and validation data, its performance is checked on test data. If performance is good, we proceed with the model. If performance is not good, so again you need to modify in the algorithm. So better to give some more training, to that particular algorithm. Deployment of algorithm. So in deployment means here installation of that model on the environment. And the user's environment is nothing but deployment. So trained ML algorithms deployed on live stream data. Example, e-commerce, etc. So here all medium mode and all, you know this. So these are the ML types: supervised, unsupervised, semi-supervised, and reinforcement learning. 4 categories are there. So unsupervised learning means there is no label for that particular data. So no labels provided. Find structure in unlabeled data. So you can convert the total data into structure. Uses techniques such as clustering and dimensionality reduction. Here in the dimensionality reduction, So you can convert the high scale image into low scale image without losing their properties. Without losing their properties. That is nothing but dimensionality reduction. So here labels are provided, easily you can classify or usually you can predict. So regression techniques, it may be linear regression, regression or multilinear regression, all that we can predict the data. So that is unsupervised. Semi-supervised means, okay, few data sets are labeled and few are not labeled. That comes under semi-supervised. So based on your model, learning model, machine learning model, you need to, okay, get the labels. If you see here, easily, you are going to tell this is one cluster and this is one cluster. This is one cluster. See, yes, two clusters are there. Previously, what we predicted, that is correct after seeing. But here, if you see, okay, three clusters are there. Yes, this is also, this is one cluster and this is one cluster. This is one cluster. If you come to here, so here, how many clusters are there? People are thinking that, okay, it may be two clusters, few people. So thinking that this is one cluster, I am thinking this is one cluster and this is another cluster and this is another cluster and this is another cluster, I am thinking. But if you are using your learning model, it shows that there are total 6 clusters are there. Hidden patterns you need to identify here. Hidden properties, hidden patterns you need to identify. So based on the hidden part, what we are thinking previously here, 4 clusters are there. But here, if you see here, 6 clusters are there totally. So that is, so patterns, human brain, find patterns, okay? Mainly in unsupervised learning, we need to find out the hidden patterns. You need to find out the hidden patterns. Magnificent, but lacks some nonsense that come with logic-based approach. Nuances that come with logic-based approach. Through arithmetic clustering, through agglomeratic clustering, we can learn how to build a model that works better than human. That works better than human. That is nothing but human brain. That is nothing but human brain. Next. Hypothesis here. So in 1959, machine learning like this. Data. Machines learn from data. People are thinking that. Machines learn from data, identifying patterns in data and making decisions. So decisions required minimal to decisions required minimal to zero assistance. Decisions required minimal to zero assistance. Zero assistance. So this is the hypothesis. See here, overview of machine learning. So as I shown in the first slide, second slide, overview of machine learning. Machine learning is the subset of this AI. So AI is superset of machine learning. So AI is, okay. So in olden days, people are thinking that, so machine learning derived from AI. No. So it is a part of AI. So learning models. So learn machine learning. If it is not learned, again you need to develop another model. So if new data sets are coming, for example, see if you developed one model, so to find the, okay, tuberculosis or any other diseases. So after giving the X-rays, so new COVID disease come into the picture. So if you give the COVID image, so for the old machine learning model, it shows, okay, so it is nearer to tuberculosis, it shows the person is suffering with tuberculosis. if this image is nearer to some other one, so it shows the person is suffering with some cancer, pneumonia, like that. It is showing if it is the properties, the image properties are nearer to tuberculosis. So the model tells like this. So the person is suffering with tuberculosis. If the properties of the image is nearer to eosinophilia, like that, any other diseases, it shows like that. So that is about this overview of machine learning. So data science perspective here. ML is a way of building models filled with data. ML is a way of building models filled with data. ML is concerned with building mathematical models to understand data. Learning part. So here everything is learning, what I said. So if new COVID image will come into the picture, our old ML model will not recognize that. So if it is nearer to pneumonia, so this person is suffering that X-ray properties are nearer to image properties are nearer to pneumonia. It shows this person is suffering with pneumonia. So if the properties are nearer to tuberculosis, it shows that the properties are nearer to tuberculosis. But it is not recognizing the COVID. So then what we are going to do? So the images related to the COVID, X-ray images. So you are going to give to that ML model, and your ML model will update whenever the new data will come. Easily it is going to classify whether the person is suffering with pneumonia or tuberculosis or COVID. So like this. So that is ML is concerned with building mathematical models to understand. Next, learning phase in ML. Learning phase. So raw data as input, and the hidden patterns. So data patterns are identified and train the model. So like this. So learning categories should be like that. So usual challenges. Unknowingly ML versus knowing ML versus taking on ML. Usual challenge. Knowing ML or taking ML. Critical points. So challenges. So what is ML? So now you know. Taking on ML, sometimes so the system will fail. So if you give a new data set which is not trained, so that data set is not trained in that particular model, if you give a new data set, so it is not taking. That is an usual challenge for you. So and critical point to use ML models, problem types. So here in basic form of ML is supervised and unsupervised. In unsupervised, semi-supervised and reinforcement. Semi-supervised means between supervised and unsupervised. Few data sets are having labels and few data sets are not having labels. So this is C here in the figure. So how to find the relationship here when these two comes here very nearer, there we are going to find the relationship of these two feature labels, data feature labels, measured data features, and we will get the output. Use it to label new data from already seen data. Use it to label new data from already seen data. So that is unsupervised learning, supervised learning. So this is supervised learning types, classification, regression, all this. See here. Relationship of these features. So previously I said, based on the employee qualification, experience, we are going to fix the salary, and without disturbing so the existing employees, like this. Then unsupervised. See here, some are stable results in clustering. So here some are stable results. If unstable results will come into the picture, so here easily we are going to classify. This is one cluster, this is another cluster, and this is another cluster. But here unstable results means so it is impossible to classify here. So then what? We go to dimensionality reduction. So here see, data set, it shows like a chair. Initially, it shows like a chair. Okay, here all the properties. So I'm going to take one sample. That sample contains all the properties of the remaining entire data. So dimensionality I'm going to reduce here. So the dimension may be, okay, 625, suppose one image you take, so the matrix size is 625 by 625, so it goes up to thousands patterns. So in this thousands patterns, 625 with 625, I'm going to reduce it into 25 into 25 like that, without losing the properties. That is nothing but here, dimensionality reduction. Next here, see. Semi-supervised learning. See here, this is semi-supervised learning. Already labeled data set is there here. Already labeled data set. So here labeled data set, here we are going to classify here dog. The patterns is like that, it is dog, bike and bird. And we developed a training model, that is machine learning model. And if you give, and okay, it gives the output, no problem. If unlabeled data, if you give, so then what will happen here? Some examples. Okay, so this target model is student, teacher model easily predict, target model is student, unlabeled data sets if you give, student will not, okay, classify it. Again you are going to do the fine tuning by giving this labeled data sets to this. Again, that is nothing but fine tuning. Simple for COVID. This is the, okay, already ML model to recognize that tuberculosis or pneumonia or any other disease. This is teacher, for example, already trained ML model. If you give new unlabeled, that is COVID data to this model will fail. Then what we are going to do here? So you are going to train once again the COVID model, COVID data sets to this teacher's model. Then easily it recognizes that target model. If you new image, that is semi-supervised learning. Science of machine learning. So here some hypotheses are there. Okay, so machine learning is all about learning from data. See here, learning. So once you developed, simply the machine said, okay, so thanks, goodbye. So here the person is operating all the things on the right side. So when the machine learns everything, it will operate automatically. It will operate automatically. See here, AI is the buzzword in the very recent times, which has gained huge type and importance, not only from academia, but also research community and industry. Research community and industry. AI is also called as artificial intelligence, thinking like a human being, behaving like a human being. So AI being a buzzword, if there is anything for sure, then it's machine learning which lives to the hype. See here, another. Machine learning is all about learning from data. Everywhere here, learning from data. See here. So you are learning from the data. ML is all about learning from data. So here we are, okay, mapping one function. So ML can be applied to solve untold numbers of problems so long as you correct data to correct algorithm. If data is not correct, even your algorithm is also correct, we will not get the expected outputs. That is here. See here. So here mapping the function with the data here. So your data is not correct here, means it is not in one structure format. Even though your learning model is correct, this one is correct, this is wrong, so then the output will not get as per the expectations. That is learning. Next, this is about this. So indirect way, correct data if you give indirect way, so then you will get the correct data. And future engineering is also correct, that is hidden patterns and all you need to elaborate, then you will get the expected output. So then second hypothesis, machine learning is all about data and partly about algorithm. Partly. So why my algorithm? So data is correct. Whatever the input I have given, it is correct. Why my algorithm is not working? Why is my code not working? My code is not working. Your code is working, but whatever the data, okay, you have given here, it is okay. It is not trained in the ML. New data, whatever the new data sets you have given, previously it is not trained in that new ML raw data. So that is new. That's what it is not working here. So machine learning is all about data and partly about algorithms, not full. Machine learning is a function mapping the data with the algorithms. So this is so now previously machine learning is integration of two functions here with the data as well as with the algorithms. So it is a two functions, combination of two functions, both the algorithm as well as the data. So that is. So here see machine learning data 90%, algorithm place is 10%. So if 90%, so that is wrong data, then obviously your algorithm will not work. So then hypothesis 3, that is football 3. Complex models are not needed unless huge amount of data is available. So people are thinking that in olden days, complex models, so we don't want these complex machine learning models unless we get the huge amount. Nowadays, in fraction of seconds, terabytes of data is coming. So now we are using these complex models now, especially from the past 5 to 6 years. Keep things simple to match the complexity of the models to level and complexity of data. Then data, patterns, training, this all you know. So here, large data. So if you train the model with whatever the capacity, so if the scalability is there, then the ML model scalability, you can give some more parameters. So if parameters are large, it comes under overfitting. Previously I said, n number of parameters are more for that training ML model, then it comes under overfitting. That is complex models. So if the parameters are very less in the training ML model, so that is applicable only for small sets of data. That model is applicable, used for only small set of data. It's not for complex data sets. So then that is known as underfitting. Then keep things simple to match with complexity of model to live and complexity of data. Keep things simple to match the complexity of model to level and complexity of data. That is nothing but dimensionality reduction. Keep things simple. So large data set is there. You can take one sample. So that sample having all the properties of that remaining all the data. So that is nothing but keep things simple to match the complexity of model to level and complexity of data. So see here, this is the student model. This is training model. So labeled data we are giving first. So then unlabeled, a small set of annotated data, that is labeled data, to train a powerful but inefficient teacher model, which in turn labeled as much set of annotated data, that is red in color, means there is no label for annotated data. Both the data sets are used to train a learner more efficient student model. The teacher LSTM is more than 3 times of size of the student. 78 million parameters versus 24 million parameters here, which makes it more than 3 times as slow. It is also bidirectional, which means that it processes every input sequence, both forward and backward direction. So this is first labeled data you need to train, then unlabeled data if you give, you will get the next hypothesis 4, that is 4. Machine learning is only ever as good as the data used for training. So GIGO, here base is GIGO. GIGO means incorrect or poor quality input if you give, you will produce faulty output. Garbage in, garbage out. So ego is used to express the idea that is that in computing and other fields, incorrect or poor quality input which produces faulty output. So that is ego. Next, data, patterns, training the ML. So this you know. So patterns, if you are not recognizing the patterns properties, so then the model, there is a failure. So whatever you are doing, even the algorithm is working properly, ego, garbage in, garbage out, will not get correct expected output unless if you do the correct engineering, that is pattern engineering. So data must be rich, data must be correct, data must have proper labels. So hypothesis 5, that is football. Training data needs to be representative. Training past performance, current performance, then only future performance. So during model design and development, past performance plus current performance, that is future performance. If past deployment stage, so it is development stage, it is okay. At the time of deployment, new data will come into the picture which is not trained for that ML model, then the future performance is not good. That is past performance versus. So here unspoken warning, see here, testing to training machine learning model is not good. So if new data will come into the picture, unspoken warning. So this is the ML model. So machine learning model, all this. Football 6, data transformation represents largest part of the hardware. So transforming, so choosing algorithms, tuning parameters, clean the data, feature engineering, all these things are very important. So, and you need to more concentrate on the time, to do all this. Choosing algorithms, tuning parameters, cleaning data, feature engineering. So more time you have to spend to do all these things. Next, football 7. Deep learning is not a magic bullet. So deep learning I will not, but data is automatically. Data, you need to concentrate on very much on the data. So more time on data for future engineering especially. So this is about, so unsupervised learning and all. Next, coming to is it clear, ma'am? Any doubts till now? Ma'am, till now, any doubts? If you have, you can ask. Ma'am, can you hear me?
Sir, yes, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Yes. Tell ma'am, any doubts till now?
That's what, sir. I'm asking the participants itself. Your session is very clear as per I was listening. Participants, if you have any queries, you can unmute yourself and ask doubts to the sir.
Or shall I continue last?
Yes,
so
yes.
there is a.
Yeah, we will go with the query section in the
end. Then I am going to explain about it. So lot of data is there, madam. That's what.
Right, sir. Right, sir. You can continue, sir. Wherever.
So Q learning, especially, this is very important. Reinforcement learning is the part of unsupervised learning. So you have given this topic. This is very important, and examples also we will see here. Q learning.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. You can continue, sir. We will go with the questionnaire in the end.
Okay. So Q learning. Why Q learning is important? So here some are the. Here see some important terms used in reinforcement learning. See here, agent. So what is the use of this agent? So it is an assumed entity which performs actions. So it is an assumed entity which performs actions in an environment to gain some reward. So this agent performs some actions to get the reward. So environment, a scenario that can agent has to face. Environment is nothing but a scenario. Reward means an immediate return given to an agent when he or she performs a specific action or task. Okay, reward means here, okay, an immediate return given to an agent when he or she performs specific action or task. State here, what is state? State refers to the current situation. State refers to the current situation returned by the environment. So state refers to the current situation returned by the environment. Policy, it is the strategy which applies by the agent to decide the next action based on the current state. Policy is a strategy which applied by the agent to decide the next action based on the current state. Value, it is expected long-term return with discount as compared to the short-term reward. Value function, so it specifies the value of data, that is the total amount of reward. So these are the some important terms which are used in reinforcement learning. See here, reinforcement learning. So here, see in the picture, a rat is there. Here some A doubles are there. Okay, the rat will go in this way. If it goes directly here, power is there, so it will die. If it goes here, again here, or again here, like this, again here, some benefits, rewards he is going to get. That rat is going to get, the mouse is going to get the rewards, and again like this. So if it goes here, and again it comes, and again it goes like this. If it goes here, so learning automatically, okay, the rat is learning. So the agent observes the environment, takes an action to interact with the environment and receives positive or negative reward. So positive or negative reward, that is nothing but here actions. That is nothing but here actions. So in supervised learning, training data comes with an answer key from some good like supervisor. Good like supervisor. In reinforcement learning, there is no answer key, but your reinforcement learning agent still must decide how to act to perform its task. In the absence of existing training data, the agent learns from experience. It collects the training examples. Through trial and error as it attempts its task with the goal of maximizing long-term reward. So this is trial and error. If it goes, so here power is there, okay, so after hitting shocks, then it will die. So it goes here like this, and here rewards will come. So this type of learning is self-learning, reinforcement learning. The agent observes the environment, takes an action to interact with the environment, and receives positive or negative reward. That is nothing but reinforcement learning. How reinforcement learning works? How, see the figure in the figure, how this reinforcement learning works. Let us see the simple example. See this simple example which helps you illustrate the reinforcement learning mechanism. So here, cat does not understand English or any other language here, any other human language. We can't tell her directly. We can't tell the cat directly what to do. Instead, we follow a different strategy, like we emulate a situation and the cat tries to respond in many different ways. If the cat's response is the desired way, we will give her fish. So here fish, reward. This is the reward here. So it is in sitting position now. So this is the action. So once the cat will see this fish, automatically so it will respond. The cat will respond in many different ways. Now whenever the cat is exposed to the same situation, the cat executes a similar action with even more enthusiastically in expecting of getting more reward. So again, after getting that fish, after eating that fish, again Okay, so enthusiastically it sees any other more food is there, like that. So that's like learning that cat gets from what to do from positive experiences. Here, positive experience. That's what. Okay. So learning. That's what. Nothing but learning. The cat gets from what to do from positive experiences. So here, at the same time, that the cat also learns what not to do when faced with negative experience. At the same time, so the cat, okay, knows, learns what not to do, okay, with the negative experience. Okay, if the food is, okay, very hot, it will not touch that. With experiences, okay, with experiences, it knows. Next. So explanation of the model here, okay, reinforcement model, learning model. There are two models are there, Markov decision process. Okay, here simple rewards, set of actions, how many set of actions, set of states. So in each action, each state is there, then rewards will come or not, policy, value and all I explained it. So value means what? It is expected long-term return with discount as compared to the short-term reward. Policy means what? It is strategy which applies by the agent to decide the next action based on the current state. That is nothing but policy. So this all under this Markov decision process. There are two important learning models in reinforcement learning. So first one is Markov decision process, second one is Q learning process. So here set of actions depend on the set of states, depend on the rewards, depending on the rewards. Next, here see Q learning. Here see Q learning. Q learning is a value-based method of supplying information to inform which action can agent should take. So that is nothing but Q learning here. That is nothing but Q learning here. See here, let us understand, see the figure, let's understand this method by the following example. There are 5 rooms in a building which are connected by doors, which are connected outside area. So this is outside area. This one is outside area. This is outside. We need to go to the outside area here first. Door numbers 1 to 4 lead into the building from room 5. So from 1 to 5 we will go to outside area. So this 4 also outside area. This is the outside area. So here next you need to associate a reward value initial state S is S2, state 2, that is our initial state. Then state 2 to state 3. So to where we are going to go? So we are first here, initial state 3. So that is state 2 to state 3. Here we are showing this. So then again state 3 to 1 as well as state 3 to 4, like this. So state 3 to 1 and state 3 to 4 like this. And again after reaching state 4, it goes to 1, it struck up here, or it comes to again 3. Similarly from state 2 to 3, or it from 3 to 2, it stuck up here, the figure shows. So in this image, you can view the room represents a state, agent's movement from one room to another represents an action in the above, in this figure. In this figure, a state is described as a node, while the arrow shown the action. So that is about this. So here, based on this, we derived this one. We derived this figure. See here. So this is the initial state. So here reward after reaching, okay, outside, we will get a reward of 100. So each states, for example. So this is nothing but Q learning. Q learning is, okay, having Q table is a function with actions and states. States with actions, Q table. So that is nothing but next example. So here we are using Bellman equation for Q table, Q learning. Q table is the data structure used to calculate the maximum expected future rewards for action to each state. Basically, this table will guide us the best action at each state. To learn each value of the Q table, Q learning algorithm is used. Q function uses the Bellman equation and takes two inputs, state and action A. So these are a number of iterations as a result of Q table. Number of iterations here. Okay, see here in this figure, number of iterations. Initially you are in 2. Okay, so how many number of iterations to go to outside? That is 5. So 1, 2, 3. So state 2 to 3, then state 3 to 1, and again state 1 to state 5. You will get a reward. So again, if you go state 2 to 3, initial from state 2 to 3, so then again you go to 4, and again you go to 0, and come back. Learning here. From here onwards, learning. Come back. And from 4 to 5, outside. This is also outside. So learning here, automatically learning. With the Q table is the combination of Bellman equation and state. So that is. So Q table is the data structure used to calculate the maximum expected future rewards for action at each state. Basically, this table will guide us to the best action at each state. To learn each value of the Q table, Q learning algorithm is used. Q function uses the Bellman equation and takes two inputs, states and actions. So this is initialize the Q table first. Choose an action here. Which action? Perform that action. So if you are wrong, trial and error, then what will happen? Again, another action you need to choose and measure the reward. Another action you need to choose and measure the reward. So update that Q table. Update that Q table here. See here, this one is the example. Here R is the reward. See the example here. Here, this is the example problem. Here gamma, R value is 100, it is moving. So here initially we are at S1 state. And we need to go to S6. This is our final state. So here what we are going to do here, Q learning algorithm problem is used to find the optimal path in reinforcement learning. This is very, very important. Q learning algorithm is used to find the optimal path in reinforcement learning. So here two parameters are there. One is Q function and another one is Q table. This is Q table. This one is the Q table, and this one is the Q function. Q table and Q function. So it is the combination of Q table, two parameters. So here Q function is known as Bellman equation. Q function is known as Bellman equation. Q function is known as Bellman equation. That is nothing but Bellman equation. So here Q function is the estimated utility function. Q function is the estimated utility function. It tells that function tells us how good an action is given to a certain state. How good. So which step is this function tells that which step you need to take, choose, and an action is given to certain that particular state. Action is given to that particular state. Okay, by this Q function. It is a combination. So this Q learning algorithm is used to find the optimal path. Okay. So in reinforcement learning, from initial state to final state, initial state to final state, it is the combination of two parameters, that is Q function as well as Q table. Q function is also known as Bellman equation. Bellman equation. So here, see here. So Q function is estimated utility function. Here it tells us how good an action is given to certain state. So here immediate reward for making an action, okay, plus best utility. So here best utility, immediate action here. So which state and action. Here best utility. So here, so the Q function is like this. So here Q function is state with the action. Here, like this, we are going to gamma of state and action. So how many actions are there? Plus, so here not gamma, R. This one is R. This one is gamma and R. This one is game. So discount factor R. Here R, reward. So R. Discount factor which is used to balance the equation. Maximum of all the state. So how many paths are there? Here maximum of all those paths you need to take here. So that is, we will do this problem. Easily you are able to understand. See here. So what our expectation is to reach the end state S6. So S1 is, okay, our initial state. So here initial states and the rewards, here rewards, all the rewards you need to write here, all the rewards. So how many paths are there from S1 state to S2 to S2? So actions are A1 to A14. So we are choosing from S1 to S2. So that is A1 to action you need to take. A1 to action, if you take available actions, A1 to and A4, A14, choose this. So then update the Q function. So Q function is, so here Q, S1, A12, A12, so that equal to R plus, so what is this? 0.5, 0.5 is the gamma. Gamma value is 0.5. So 0.5. Gamma is used as a discount factor which is used to balance. So 0.5. So maximum of this paths. Maximum of these paths means here. How many maximum paths are there here? So A23 and again A25 is there. So what is the value of, okay, S2, A23, 0. S2, A35, 0. So then we will get the value like this. So this S2, A25 is also 0. Maximum of Q, S2, A25, it goes to 5. And S2, A23, it goes to third state. fifth state and third state. See here. So maximum of S23 and S25. From here, the connections are going to state 3 and state 5. So all this S223 0 and S225 is also 0. Maximum of these two zeros. Maximum of these two zeros. So maximum of these two is zeros. So this total is zeros here values. So 0 into 0.5, 0. R value is also 0 here. R value given. Here R value given 100. But so R value here we are taking it as 0. Yes, A12 action we are considering. Then 0. So totally it is 0. Then updated and it goes to the S2 state now. Update S2 state. Again here from S2 to S3. So if you calculate like this, so then after getting third state to this, you will get the 100. So then again you are doing the iterations here. Every state will get a value like this, possible values like this. Every state will get a possible values like this, one by one if you do here. Any doubts? I will explain once again this problem. Just to go through it, go through my PPTs. I will share these PPTs, especially this Q learning PPT. I will share. Okay, please take this. So this is my session. My session is over. Any doubts, queries? You can ask me. Ma'am, Tanvir ma'am. Tanvir ma'am. Ma'am.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir. Can you hear
ma'am.
my voice, sir?
It's over, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear your voice, sir. So I request participants, if any queries or any questions you need, you can ask, sir.
So I'm going to post my mail ID.
Right, sir.
So on the chat, in the chat box. So you have any queries and research collaboration, you can talk with me. I'll share my mobile number also.
Okay, sir. So I request all the participants, if any questionnaire, sir has posted his email also.
If you want once again the explanation of that Q learning problem, I will explain, ma'am.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm asking, sir.
If you want.
If any participant needs the explanation or any such thing, please, sir is here with us. If there are no queries, we can proceed further.
I'll share that PPTs, madam, especially that Q learning
Yes,
problem
sir.
PPT.
Yes, sir.
Please forward it
share
to the participants, ma'am.
Yes. Please do share with my WhatsApp number, sir.
First one is basic, anyhow, everybody knows about that. Okay, second one I will share, ma'am. Okay,
Right.
ma'am, thanks
Right.
Thanks for giving this opportunity.
Sir.
Thank you.
Sir,
So
one second.
my sincere thanks to Janaki madam, principal and management of Vagdevi Engineering College, and convener of this program, Dr. Tanvir Jahan ma'am, and all. Thank you so much, madam.
Sir, I thank you very much for this session, sir. You were very brief enough for all the types of learning. We had a good view of unsupervised learning as well as reinforcement learning. Hope all the participants have taken the benefits of your session as well as understood the PPTs along with examples. Sir will be sharing the link also. I'll be forwarding the same to you. I thank very much, sir, for taking up immediate response from my side. As I was in need of unsupervised learning. Thank you very much.
Priorly, you should intimate to me, ma'am. Priorly.
Right.
So you didn't give at least 1 week of time to me.
Sir, it was a very peak for us, sir. So, but you have accepted our invitation and then responded it very fast.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes,
Hmm.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you. All the best for the participants for the next sessions. Thank you. Madam, shall I leave, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I request all the participants, now attendance link will be shared in the chat box as well as in the WhatsApp group. Please post your attendance. This is for the forenoon session. The attendance is for the forenoon session. We'll be closing by 11:45. The attendance form will be closed. Please try to post your attendance. We'll take a break till 11:45. We'll have a second session after that. Thank you.